guys, don't come. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Fuck off.
Call the police.
Fuck off. Fuck off. Leave him alone. Fucking leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Police. Call the police. Call the police. Call the police.
Whoa. Get out of the road, man.
Call the police. Call the police.
Okay.
Call the police now, man.
Whoa. You okay?
What happened?
Fuck off.
Call the police, man.
I'm calling the police.
Call the police.
That guy fucking
What
was
did he do?
punching. They were kicking. He was kicking him.
Hey, G! Why you running?
He tried to curb stomp him.
Jim, shut up!
Hey ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about something totally different. The issue that I've noticed that is happening right now is that Black Lives Matter, most people that support Black Lives Matter are against Stop Asian Hate, officially which was Asian Lives Matter. Because there was like a lot of, tweets saying that please stop using Asian Lives Matter because it's taking over Black Lives Matter. So we're not supposed to switch them up because Blue Lives Matter is wrong. All Lives Matter is one. Life Matter, all, you know where I'm going with this. So Asian Lives Matter is wrong. And that made me think a little by like, wait. I get what you're trying to say. But haven't we seen like a skyrocketing amount of Asian hate happening in US? It's not like blue, they're killing cops, a lot of people are dying. No. We're talking about Asian, old people. That attracts people attention, right? Project Veritas showed CNN technical director admitted that the network coverage of anti-Asian crimes committed by black people were covered differently due to the desire to not set back the BLM movement. And I find it weird. Who even attacks old people in the most cowardly way from behind, pushing them on the floor? Who does that? And the amount of people robbing Asians around New Year's because they know they have a lot of cash on them, because most old Asians, they come from the communist era. They know how it is. They don't trust bank. They keep the cash on themselves, right? So they get robbed a lot more because people found out like, hey man, they have money on them. And that's why they go after them 24/7. And I was like, dude, why? Why are you doing this? Especially now, supposedly, a lot of Asian people, a lot of Asian friends that I'm seeing are getting a little angry because like, yo, we have been supporting so many people with BLM, especially the new generation of this Asian that has come because they're more integrated into the community. But then they're like, yo, why are you not supporting us? Why are the news not covering this? Now it's getting a boom. But in the beginning, I didn't even know this was happening until a friend told me about this. I searched it and now my YouTube is filled with it because it's a little hidden. Unless you search it, it doesn't pop out. And it did make me wonder like, So now there are even people saying like, you know what, we're not supposed to support these things because they didn't care about us. I'm like, whoa. Why would you generalize something like that? Why? I don't support Black Lives Matter because I don't like looting. I do it on the individual basis.
These are people who live in public housing, and you just made a melee. You took down bus routes. There are people who live in this neighborhood who have to go back uptown to work, and you are here profiting off of our pay. So you protest every single last one of you. You think about what it's like to be a black woman in this neighborhood who lives with people in public housing who now have to walk through.
So now, Stop Asian Hate. First off, when first they started writing Asian Lives Matter, a lot of people were getting pissed. But if my grandpa is getting pushed on the floor, grandmother brutally beaten on LA bus by attacker who thought she was Asian. Who thought she was Asian? Are you freaking kidding me? Who beats a grandmother? It doesn't make any sense. I've never seen an article, I'm not saying it can't happen, but the amount of grandpa or ma having their ass beaten, and I'm like, look at this. Blue and everything this. Do you know how passionate you have to beat them up? It doesn't make any sense. Look at this. This one, they're beating Asian people, robbing them and everything. Why? Because usually in these Asian situations is they have money, Chinese New Year, and most old people from those generations, they don't trust the bank, communist and world situation, you get my point. So they have cash on them. So they like to rob Asian people, usually the oldest because they handle the money and they get the money. So if a few grandpas are getting robbed or mas or beaten or some even killed, and you're telling me them don't use Asian Lives Matter, don't you think that is even offensive? The only reason I'm covering is not because I like Asian more than black. I'm not saying that. I find the hypocrisy weird. You cannot say we're not gonna do it because you're not supporting us. What do you mean? If some Asian believes you're going to rob the store, prove them wrong. Visit them a lot of time. Be nice about it, respectful from a humble way, not from a gangster way. And with time, they will respect you and you will infect them and they might be infected by the next generation. That's how I do it. I always do everything from a humble way, not a generalized way. What are you on about? So look at this guy. This guy stabbed people, a mom and a daughter, 8 years old. And imagine if that person was black. BLM would have gone wild. But that's not the case. But then again, why cover it? Why get the points? You know? Not even like pushing an old guy on the floor and run away like a gangster. No. And he's white. But still, nobody cares. Not even like white privilege. No. Nobody is covering this. Look at this. Woman on the floor. Look at that. Who steps on a woman? Who steps on a woman? Stepping on people, pulling their hair. I'm like, dude, what are you people on about? And surprisingly, a lot of them are black. This guy they pushing on the floor, he passed away. Can you believe you're going to tell people, hey, what happened to your family member? Oh, he got pushed on the floor. He died. I'm like, nah, man. It's old people. Old people. Don't touch old people. That's the last thing I do. When I'm in a metro and I see old people enter, I give them always my seat. They just enter and they just detect my kindness. Then they just look at me and they just stand up immediately. Why would you hurt old people? Do you know how gangster you have to be that you can beat an old people blue? Because you're like, yeah, it's unfair. Why would you beat Asian people? Old Asian people. It doesn't make any sense. I believe there was a hatred a long time ago down there. There's something weird.
You disrespect the black woman from my community. Look at him running. He's running. Why are you running? You disrespected the black woman from this community, calling her a bitch. Called the police on her, told her to get out, or disrespected Black Lives Matter. I'm here to tell you that's gonna stop. Black women, y'all shouldn't even be in this store. He disrespects black women by calling them bitches. That's gonna stop. Do I make myself clear? To scary ass. I know you call the police. Coming up in here. How do you dare you disrespect a black woman? Then make fun of Black Lives Matter. We spend money in here. What's your name, sir? What is your name? Black woman, y'all shouldn't even be in this shop. Look at him running hide. He running hide. Disrespect a black woman from our community. Don't let nobody in here while I'm talking. All right. What's your name? Are you the owner? Where's the owner? The owner ain't here? Well, I'll be back. Make sure you tell him to be here, and you ever disrespect a black woman again, we're gonna shut you down. Call the black women bitches. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You know you did it. and then making fun. Black lives matter, black lives matter. You know what I'm talking about. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I right or am I wrong? What did he say? You said something slick. You said something slick. Don't do it again. That's why we here. You ever disrespect the black woman's way, we're going to come shut you down for good. No justice! No peace! 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 Let's go. Black women, y'all shouldn't even be up in here. They disrespect y'all. Calling.
And there you go. So I'm like, do you think you call a lady one time a bitch, supposedly? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what is happening. And a bunch of people, Black Panther, BLM, is gonna go to your store and kind of threaten you, intimidate you. Do you really think there's nothing? No, there is something. And usually Asians open store in poor neighborhood. They don't go to rich neighborhood. They go to poor neighborhood, people that actually use their stuff. And guess what? There was always like a weird hatred against Asian because they seem organized. It's happening in Spain too. They have these small stores that sell all these things for very cheap prices. Nobody know how they handle their taxes or whatever. And usually I go buy my stuff there. Because when they open a store, nobody goes to the other store. I assume they might getting help from China. I don't know.
Now shattered.
We're seeing countless elders in the Asian American community being targeted, attacked, and robbed throughout the Bay Area.
But Spanish people are like, you know what? It's kind of unfair. I don't understand. Bada bing, bada boom. So I get that frustration. I assume it can also come from BLM. How they have their family structure, why they can have their business, why they try to protect it, why they try to defend the store from BLM, because specific people that might be afraid. So if they call somebody a bitch and this is happening, yes, of course they're going to be afraid. It would not surprise me when riots come near their store. They have to close it down, put even guards on the roof with guns, like it has happened back in the day. And these stuffs are gangster. Because remember, back in the day, Asians were living with black people in very poor neighborhood. But most Asians got out of that situation. Black neighborhood has the Asian with single mothers and all this stuff. Not Asians. So they got their family act together. And I believe there is like a weird underlying hatred. Also, I saw some things in communities which is kind of weird, that whenever the city is passing laws to send money to specific neighborhood, they help the Hispanics, they have the Arabs, they have the Asian people. But supposedly when it had to go to the black people, somebody blocked those laws, because you vote on this stuff. I can't find the video. I'm trying to find it. If I have it, I will put it in the comment section. But it seems some Asian community actually blocked the amount of support of money that had to go to a black community. And it's not clear. But if I believe something like that, and some BLM people or black community can remember that, no wonder there is some certain kind of weird hate. Because you have white people attacking, but also a lot of black people, more than I thought. And I was like, hey, what the heck is happening? Are they feeling comfortable because of BLM? Because they have a mask so nobody recognizes them because you have the mask, you're supposed to wear it? I don't know what's happening. The fact that there are people out there say, don't use Asian Lives Matter, use Stop Asian Hate. And when they use Stop Asian Hate, at the same time you're going to say, you know what? We're not going to support you because in the stores you keep following us because you think we're going to rob something. I've never had that issue. They usually tell me, oh my God, your kids are so respectful. What do you want me to do? Maybe here in Spain, most black people don't rob the Asians. I don't know. If you want the Asians to start losing their money, don't buy from their stores. Very simple. But guess what? It seems they're doing it very well and everybody seems to need them in that situation. Is it their fault? No. But I can understand where some people from the black community can believe, like, you know what? But it's always us that we have to empathize and support people. But these people are not supporting us. I'm like, I know where you're coming from. Not all old people from specific generation respect black people the same as their kids. But if you're going to generalize like that, isn't it bad if they start generalizing you? Here you have a video that will show in a great example how an Asian reacted against a black lady that seems to be stealing.
I'm a female, so I own a female.
He tries to get her out, he kicks her, really uses his moves and tries to stabilize her while they're calling the cops. And she is reacting, I'm a woman, what are you doing? And the thing is, her way of reacting that usually might scare a black person or a white man, it doesn't work with most Asian people. So I think this creates a friction that nobody addresses, but it does leave a weird hatred because Asians are in black neighborhoods. They need their hair and those stuff that they keep buying. They buy cheap stuff. So guess what? There's a weird hatred going on because everybody is talking about the store.
You check my purse.
This case all stems back to an incident on March 17th. Now, as we reported, the owner of a Houston beauty supply store says that she was punched in the face by a customer who made racial insults. Jun Kim says that the attack left her bloody and bruised with a broken nose. In an interview on Tuesday, the owner tells KPRC that she asked Keandra Young and Daquisha Williams, as well as 3 other women, to leave her store after they knocked over several wig displays. But Williams, who was in court today, tells us that's not the case. She says she believes that the group was profiled, and she tells us that she was only trying to break up the situation.
So is that the reason why you go after the old people? Is that a conclusion that I'm coming through? I don't know. I'm just surprised this is just happening. People are defending, not protecting Asian people because they watch us in the stores or they never supported us correctly. Really?
During his lunch break at a street corner. Look at his eyes. Now blind in one eye, he's raising money on GoFundMe to help pay his medical expenses.
Just like Black Lives Matter, how police are being gangster with black people, you know what's the problem that I have with this? If you have some mental issues, you can be aggressive and you will get trouble with the cop. Sadly, I wish these people have like a father that can educate them how to be calm, because the longer we are calm, the better it will be. I was taught by that the day that somebody arrested me in front of my father by accident because they thought I was a thief. You know what happened? He drove off. My father drove off. Not because he's gangster. Imagine you're in the police car in the back seat and the car that's coming here stops right here. Your father looks at you in the backseat of a cop. He stops like, yeah, police, do your U-turn beautiful and take my son to the police station because I taught him about responsibilities. Do you know what that did to my mind? I was like, I cannot depend on my father if I do stupid stuff. And I've never broken a law that I knew about because I didn't want to do something dumb. Did I have people that are gonna show me how to live like a normal person? No, because I don't want to do dumb stuff because my father taught me if something happens, you're gonna go to prison and a big boy is gonna have big boy action with you. And I didn't like that. That's what I was taught. I was afraid. And BLM and all those stuff, it's hard for me to empathize because I don't put myself in specific situations.
The troubling attacks continue everywhere. This gutsy 75-year-old woman gave an alleged attacker a lot more than he bargained for. She says she fought back with that stick after this guy punched her in the face for no reason in San Francisco.
From what I could see.
And now I'm gonna see the Asian community, they're just gonna get together and they're gonna look at all these black people distrustful. Like instead of in the store, oh, is he gonna rob? Is he gonna rob? No, it's gonna be these old people walking with an army of Asians. Are you gonna beat us? Are you gonna beat us? Do you realize what you're doing? It's an accident. It's supposed to happen, but we don't know when it's gonna stop because we have so much frustration from the past. You cannot normalize pain to others. And I hate it also that whenever specific people does this action, you come with this beautiful reason. You have to understand he didn't have a daddy, he didn't have money, he's jealousy, he wanted an Asian, they pushed him away, he went with one to bed, he got a disease. People stop creating situation to justify painful action to others. I'm not talking about cops. As a human being to another human being, not even job related, whenever you generalize pain in one direction, you will lose empathy in the long run. And that is the last thing the black community need in these very volatile days. Believe that nobody empathizes with them. Twitter is filled with those messages. Let me know in the comments. Maybe I missed something. If I find any interesting article, I will try to put them in the comment and I will pin it. And let's keep the dialogue, but let me know because I have a bad feeling for the future for Asians and black people. I don't think they're gonna be like that brotherly anymore. But that's my opinion.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Buta fire na mi blonde, kush hash, purple skunk, criollo, colombici, jam, turloqueta, verdeta, welcome.